This is the bathroom. Now watch out, we got some bad roaches here.
Hey, you're on our turf, man. And man, I cut you up so bad. I wish I don't cut you up so bad.
Those are bad roaches. I blame the smoke.
Cats don't care about.
Hey everybody, this is Cyndi Sweet with Leconte Realty and parkbench.com/rules for chemistry. And I'm here today with Aaron Veal. And Aaron is the owner, operator, employer, does it all, of Phoenix Pest Control right here in Blount County. We're going to talk today with Aaron about his certification as an entomologist and why that makes him unique and special to the Blount County area. So Aaron, welcome. Glad to have you here today.
Glad to be here.
All right. So tell me a little bit first before we get into our discussion. I know you brought some things here. I want to point out that you have a coloring and activity book.
Absolutely.
Which you said is for kids of customers that you serve, but
Or adults that like the coloring. I've had a couple of those too.
good, because I'm totally going to keep it for myself.
Very well.
All right, and we also have some guests here, but I'll let you introduce them when it's appropriate. So
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about you and what got you into pest control.
Well, I've been doing this almost 20 years. I got into it because a friend of mine was working for a pest control company, and he got me into it, and it was better than what I was doing. And my grandmother told me, well, that's fine. You can just go kill bugs, because I had just gotten medically discharged from the Marine Corps. She said, they don't let you go kill people, so now you got to go kill bugs.
Well, thank you for your service in the Marines.
I'm not problem. I didn't do much.
Yeah, you did, but okay.
But I got into it and worked for several companies, and finally got just sick of corporate silliness and worrying too much about the numbers and not taking care of customers.
Right.
So, and worked for a pretty bad company at the end there that actually quit because they wrote me up for not breaking the law. So at that point, I quit.
Right.
And tried to find a job. It's the dead of winter. It's the worst time you can imagine to find a job in pest control.
Right.
And ended up starting the company. And Phoenix, the name Phoenix was chosen because of the story of the Phoenix rising out of the ashes.
Right.
And to create a company that the way that I wanted to do it, where it's focused on the customer. I know every company on the planet says that.
Right.
And most of them are full of it, to be honest with you, in every industry. But I would rather, I have learned over my years that if you take care of the customer, even if you lose a little money or lose a little time or whatever, it's going to be beneficial at the end of the day. So
Right.
I really don't do much advertising.
Yeah.
It's all word of mouth.
Right.
So, and then I think that speaks to the quality of the service.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about your entomologist certification and what that means and what it means for Blount County and your customers.
Sure. So the ACE, the ACE, I've actually got a lot of customers who think that's my last name. It is not. Or if it's a nickname or something like that, it is not. It stands for Associate Certified Entomologist. In normal speak, what that means is that's the highest certification that you can get in this industry without a 4-year degree in entomology. I had to take a big, nasty, long test. It was really hard and really complicated to sign an agreement, an ethics agreement, which went along with what I was trying to do with Phoenix anyway. For the longest time, I was the only one within 100 miles to have it. Unfortunately, somebody in Knoxville got it a couple years ago, so now I'm the only one in Blount County that has this, even with all the big companies that service this area.
Really?
So that's kind of a little feather in my hat.
Right.
And what that means for the customer.
Right. I was just about to ask him, what does that mean to the customer?
Because all that's like, whatever, who cares? But what that means for the customer is I've gone and done the legal requirements to be able to take care of your pest control, but I've gone way beyond that.
Right.
So I'm supposed to know what I'm talking about.
Right. Right. So do bugs change with the seasons?
They do. Ants is one good example. They actually change what they feed on. We say, well, the ants go away in the wintertime. They really don't. But what they do in the summertime, they feed more on sucrose, on sugars. In the wintertime, most species transition over to a protein, which they're not going to find as much in the house as the sugars attracting them. So yes, we don't see them as much. They're still there.
Right.
They change what they're feeding on. They go deeper in the ground. There's less food out in the wintertime, of course, like that. Some bugs live through the wintertime. Some pests, just the queen survives the winter. Some just the eggs survive. Some just the larvae survive. Just depends on the species. So we do, a lot of people think, oh, I hope we have a good winter so it kills all the bugs.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense because if it killed all the bugs, then there wouldn't be any next year.
Right.
You
Absolutely.
know, we put on coats, we turn the heat on, and we stay inside when it gets cold. Bugs do very similar thing.
Right.
Some of them hibernate. Or we call it overwintering in the pest world. In fact, right now, right before the first frost, the overwintering pests, the kudzu bugs, the ladybugs, stink bugs, and box elder beetles are all looking for a place to get into the home before that first frost so they can go to sleep for the winter.
Right. Yeah, the stink bugs seem to be a big one. And those are the ones that look like they have a little body armor on.
Little shield.
Yeah.
Now, we have stink bugs normally here. They're bright green ones. They're pretty.
Really? I don't think I've seen a bright green
one. You
one.
don't see them that much. The ones that we have problems with now are the brown marmorated stink bug. And you know that because they're gray. And on the edges of their shield, they have little white ticks, and their antennae have white stripes as well. Those are actually not native here, and that's why we have such a problem, because their natural
habitat.
Their natural predators
Right.
are not here, and that's what's eating all the I think it's apples and peaches or pears or something like that. It's causing a lot of trouble. So.
Yeah. Now, we were talking a little bit before we got started, and you actually took in, kind of fostered a spider in your house, or took in a pet spider. Tell me a little bit about that.
This story somehow has just got legs, and it won't
About
quit,
8?
About 8 legs. I knew that was coming. But there was a time a couple years ago when I had a spider in my shower, and it was just, they ain't gonna hurt nobody.
Right.
So I called him George, and I'd bring him some flies every once in a while. Well, it ended up that somehow, I must have put it on social media or something, I don't remember. And the Knoxville News Sentinel got a hold of it and wrote a story about it. So it's just kind of got legs now.
So we have to go back to, you brought him flies.
Yeah.
So how did you, you don't go down to your local bug store and buy flies.
You can.
Oh, can you?
You can.
Okay.
A lot of, in fact, I used to have a lizard, a gecko, and I would go in and buy live crickets.
Oh, yeah.
And I would do it in uniform because I went after work, and they would always give me weird looks. What are you doing with these? It's
creating my own business.
It's like they had some moral conundrum because I would be, and finally one of them asked me, and I said, "Oh no, I've got a gecko."
Yeah.
I don't know what the difference between me testing on them or feeding them to another creature.
Right.
What the difference was, but I would just catch them in my hand and throw it in the web, and he's got to eat too.
Yeah. So how did that relationship end?
I think he got mad because he only saw me when I was naked. So he got sick of seeing that.
He got online and realized that wasn't normal.
Yes, that's not normal. So they eventually went on his way.
Yeah.
And so every once in a while I'll get one in there, and I'll call him George and feed him some spiders. So.
Well, tell me a little bit about your guest that you brought today.
Well, ever since the very beginning of my pest control, my aunt gave me this, and this is George.
Hey, George.
And he has ridden with me on my dash. You can see he's very faded.
Yes, he is.
Lots and lots of hours.
Is he a spider, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
You can tell by the 8 legs.
Yes.
4 and 4.
Should have known that.
All spiders are 4 and 4. But he's always ridden with me. So he's got some history there. And then my new one, I always have to have Lucas.
Lucas, yeah.
If you've not seen these videos, they're hilarious.
Yes, they are.
So
now, how did George feel about Lucas coming into the picture?
He didn't like it at first, but he realizes who pays his bills.
That's right. That's right. Well, good. All right. Well, so tell me, what's your best pest control pun? You know, something like what?
Oh, so pickup line.
Okay.
A bug pickup that says, "Baby, you so fly you could hatch a maggot."
Have you tried that out in public?
I'm married.
You're married. Good. Did it work?
After.
There you go.
After the
okay.
marriage.
Well, I noticed on your card there's a hashtag, what bugs me.
Yes.
Yeah, so people can talk about, is that the place to talk about what bugs them either through pest or just life in general?
Yeah. I have a very active blog on the website.
Yeah.
PhoenixPestControlTN.com. Also on YouTube, lots and lots of videos about any subject when it comes to bugs, or I like to do the misconception ones.
Right.
Because there's a lot of silliness out there, especially on Facebook when it comes to pest control.
Right.
And I like to dispel those myths and,
Right.
and give people the correct information because there's so much bad out there.
Right.
So I use the hashtag what bugs me on anything that I put out there.
Yeah.
It actually started because I was looking for a way to control my SEO.
Right. Which is search engine optimization.
Yes.
For those who may not know,
which
is a way to help your search results come up higher on Google and search engines.
Very, very complicated subject.
Yes.
Very complicated.
Yes.
But so what I did very early is started using the hashtag on everything.
Right.
And I ranked pretty good on Google, just searching for pest control. But if you search that hashtag, the entire first page.
Awesome.
So hashtags work.
That's right. Hashtag what bugs me. All right. Well, I think hashtag what bugs me is that I haven't been using you at my house, but I'm going to now.
Well, you're going to have to.
That's awesome. All right. What are some of your goals as we finish up? Your goals for your business, and why should people shop local and choose the local guy over, a reputable, maybe larger company that's available as well?
In a lot of industries, the bigger that you get with a company, there's more opportunities and things like that. But you lose that hometown feel. Mm-hmm. You lose that mom and pop type feel. With pest control, I need to go through your house sometimes, through your drawers and your cabinets. It's pretty intimate sometimes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There are good and bad companies, but there's also good and bad technicians.
Right. You
can have a good technician at a bad company who does a good job, and vice versa. But a lot of times, and this is why Phoenix exists, is because some of those bigger companies, they squish the good out of the good technicians. And you just get so sick of not being able to take care of customers. Right. A lot of these guys are sent 15, 16 stops a day. Right. There is no way you can do a quality job, doing that many a day. So my goal has always been a couple things. One, no debt. Mm-hmm. So everybody said, "Oh, you got to borrow a bunch of money to start a company." No, you don't.
Awesome.
So no debt. Awesome. I refuse to borrow money.
Right. Which has an impact on your customers because you're not trying to, you're not driven by the need to make more to cover that debt. Sure. Right.
And when I make money, I'm making money. I'm not paying somebody back. Right. But the bigger thing there is I grew much slower than industry standard because I didn't borrow a bunch of money and hire a bunch of people. Right. But it's kept the intimacy where it needs to be. Right. My customers can text me personally, message me on Facebook, all those other things. Pest control is... Well, one thing that people get wrong about pest control is it's not about the chemicals. Everybody goes straight to chemicals. What do I use? What are you using? All those kind of things. I could use anything on the planet and it'll probably kill a bug. Mm-hmm. But if you have a bug inside the house, it's not about the bug, it's about what caused the bug, what allowed them entry, what attracted them in, what is making it worse. And most companies will come in and they'll just squirt you down and say, "Thank you, ma'am." Right. But my goal is to educate, because the more information you have, the more you'll understand what's going on, the more you'll understand why you have that bug. If you've got 4 years of pizza boxes in the corner, you're probably going to have some issues.
You think that's connected?
Just a little bit. and that's what the videos and the blog are for on
Yeah.
YouTube and on the website is to help educate. And one big thing that's different, I think, I'm kind of proud of, is I use all these. So, like, I had a lady call me this morning about fleas.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've got a flea video.
Yeah.
I couldn't get to her. I was with a customer. So I said, hey, I'm with the customer. I'll be right back with you. Here's a video
Yeah.
that gives her all the information she needs, corrects all the misconceptions that Facebook told her.
Right. Right.
And then I can call her and she's ready with the correct information and what she needs to do, because it is a partnership. It's
Right.
not just I come and squirt, and,
Right.
and you're good to go. There are some things that customers often have to do, because I can keep you good to go with the insects, but if you want it to get better, instead of me maintaining it to
Right.
actually fix the problem,
Right.
if you've got ivy running up and down the house, chances are you're going to have some bugs in there.
Right.
I can treat it and keep them out of the house, great.
Right.
But you're always going to need me.
Right.
Until you get rid of that ivy. Then
Right.
there's a chance you may not need me at that point.
Yeah.
Which is me working myself out of a
I
job.
was just about to say, right. So,
But
right.
to be honest with you, I'd rather give you the information and work myself out of a job than have a happy customer.
Right.
And honestly, most people don't do
Right.
what they're supposed to. So they need
Yeah,
me perpetually anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it's a trade-off between it's pretty versus, well, I know I'm going to have bugs.
And
Whatever.
aesthetics is a big
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. All right. Well, good. Well, thank you for bringing Lucas and George today. I just touched 2 spiders, which that's a major accomplishment for me.
Oh, good for
'Cause
you.
I don't like spiders, but they are pretty cute.
I've got a video about phobias.
Okay, well,
Bug phobias.
I'll be checking that one out.
There you
All
go.
right, so Aaron Veal, who is a associate certified entomologist, the only one in Blount County, knows what he's doing, has a great team. Number one goal: take care of customers, treat the customer right. All right,
Send me a message. Just tell me what bugs you.
that's right. Hashtag what bugs me.
Welcome back to Venom's the Chamber.
Killing me, Smalls!
How's everybody doing tonight?
Yes, for certain. There is no stopping them. The ants will soon be here. And I, for one, welcome all you insect overlords. I'd like to remind them that as a trusted TV personality, it can be helpful in rounding up others to toil in their underground sugar cave.
So, I stand upon my desk to remind myself that we must constantly look at things in a different way.